Hello and welcome to the Black Dice Society. This is episode 28, Hither, Thither, and Yon. I know you're accustomed to us having some wild cold open, but it's been a few weeks since we had our full fellowship here, and I guess actually we still don't have our full fellowship because unfortunately Tanya Finn was otherwise tied up tonight, but we'll get her back in here with us next week. Before we get into this, I have to give you the same disclaimer that I always do, that this is a Ravenloft show, and as such, it is a horror show. We may deal with concepts and situations that you don't usually come across in Dungeons & Dragons games, some of which can be disturbing, intentionally or unintentionally, usually intentionally. As always, we have a safety system in place here with the cast. I'm aware of their lines and veils. They know how to notify me if something is making them uncomfortable, and if it does, the scene's going to change. So we might be in a scene where everything just stops and shifts instantly, maybe because somebody was uncomfortable, because obviously everybody being safe and having a good time is the most important thing. Although currently, we are in the Feywild, going through at least some of the events of the Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which is absolutely incredible. So although we still are telling our spooky version of this story, highly recommended. This book is absolutely gorgeous. And speaking of absolutely gorgeous books, Fizban's Treasury of Dragons is also out now. Yes, I am extra and only ever show the special edition covers of my books because y'all already know who I am, but go ahead and get your copy now if you haven't yet. And recently, Mangata, the Moonstone Dragon. This is where Mangata came from. So if you want to know what's up with her and her whole species of Fey native dragons that perceive time non-linearly, in here. Also, if you saw my D&D Celebration one-shot, the Horde Mimic and the Deep Dragon, all were from this very book. So check that out. I want to say thank you to, before I get into this, while I'm saying thank you, I'm going to thank the people that literally make this happen, my wonderful cast. So let us go around the horn here, and just go with Nora first.
Hi everyone, I'm Nora Ibrahim. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Noralogical. My pronouns are she, her, as is my character Nahara, who is a reborn fallen Azamar undead warlock with a little bit of College of the Spirit bard. Call me now for your free tarot. It's not a free Tarot deck reading. Operators are standing by. It's never free. There's always a price.
No, I can verify it is not free. Yeah. Mark?
I had a Miss Cleo moment.
She wasn't free either. Yeah.
She was not free.
For your free reading.
Mark?
Hello, I am Mark Meir. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Brother Uriah Macabre, Cleric of the Grave and Worshipper of Ezra, Lady of the Mists.
And Becca?
Oh, hello. I'm Becca Scott, but I play Tatiana here, Air Genasi Barbarian, Circle of the Moon Druid, and Bear Totem. The other thing. You can find me at the Becca Scott and my channel at Good Time Society.
Yesterday in YouTube, in my suggested videos, one of Becca's reels from 4 years ago, YouTube was like, would you like to see this? And I'm like, that is literally the content I subscribe for, YouTube. Yeah, actually. But walk down.
This is shameful and embarrassing. And also, I hope you watched and sent it to an agent,
As one does. Sage.
Hi, I am Sage Ryan. I go by Not Sage everywhere on the internet, and tonight I am Valentine. She is a reborn aberrant mind sorcerer, and we both use she, her pronouns.
And last, but certainly not least, with the single greatest fit that I've ever seen in my entire life, DJ.
Oh, hi. I'm DJ Knight. You can find me on the internet pretty much everywhere at DJ Knight. Spell out the DJ. Just putting D and J will somehow introduce you to some radio DJ who wants you to listen to their album. Beyond that, I'm playing Desmond, a human ranger lycanthrope with a love of unicorns, as you can see. And our pronouns are he, him. You're awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us.
In addition to these wonderful humans, I'd like to also thank our corporate sponsors that also may help make this happen. There is Die Hard Dice. Our custom character sets have been long sold out, which is the champagneiest of champagne problems. I believe we still have a few more of the general Black Dice Society black and gold sets. And even if you see something else that catches your fancy, you can use code BDS at checkout to get a discount. So still supporting the show and save a little money at the same time. Win-win. Our TeePublic store is live. Of course, we have shirts, mugs, masks. I've been rolling around wearing my Black Dice Society mask at cons and things. Like I was at Gamehole Con last week. People come up, they see it, they love it. So check that out. All of these links are coming up here in chat. Warriors of Waterdeep, one of our newest sponsors. Keep an eye out in the game to see some of us show up in the game on some of the billboards and stuff. There's a code coming down. Idle Champions. Some of us are already in the game. Maybe some of us might turn up in the game. I'm not sure. Also Mondays, you can see us doing this again, where I'm running the Trials of Mount Tiamat on the Idle Champions Twitch with Mr. Mark Meir reprising his role as Baloth the Entertainer. Completely different flavor of emotional torment. So check that out Mondays at 4 o'clock. Secret Labs chairs. I don't know if it's going to show against the backdrop there. Oh, there it is. See it? Look at that. Yep. Cool kids have Secret Labs chairs. It's like riding around on the couch. I love it. And we have a few more of our art prints with our Adam Schubert art. If you put !BDS art in chat, you can still get a museum quality print. In everyone that we everyone that is purchased, we make a donation to World Builders to help in global hunger. So again, you get to do good and also get something cool out of it at the same time. And of course, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/the Black Dice Society, who literally makes it possible to do what we do. Thank you all so very much for your support. This month we posted a new full-length adventure of the Nightmare Lands. We also posted a new side adventure with Valentine meeting Strahd von Zarovich face to face. We also posted Brother Uriah having an interesting time out with Mangata in a philosophical discussion, again, with a dragon that experiences time non-linearly, that feels like she's explained this to you a bunch of times already, except we haven't yet. So check that out. That is all available on patreon.com/the Black Dice Society. Oh, and one last thing. Because I was like, I can't help but feeling like I've forgotten something, which I almost certainly have. At the con, I had so many people stop me and tell me how much they love the Black Dice Society. And someone told me, different people told me, that each and every one of you were their favorite characters. So the fact that each of you have people out in these streets is a testament to your wonderful performances. And thank you all so very much for coming along with us on this journey. And with that being said, on with our show. You all have had an interesting few nights, having journeyed here into the Feywild in search of an archfey named Zybilna. She reached out to you all through a number of methods to essentially negotiate a simple deal. If you all would come and help her out of the predicament she's in, she would help the women you love out of the predicament they're in. If you were to save her, she will save Isolde, and she will save Voronika. After having met a warlock of Madrik Rossoff, a warlock of Zybilna, who originally guided you all towards the Witchlight Carnival to find your way into her domain of Prismir. For some reason, Zybilna has stopped communicating with all of her, the warlocks and clerics and other people that are in her service that she's a patron for. In your time in the carnival has been a wonderful night. A first date for some, almost disturbingly relaxing getaway for others in this land of mirth and light and joy that has reached into the hearts of even some of you that it has been quite some time since you felt any light and joy in your life. You have discovered along the way a couple of interesting, possibly disturbing things, that the more time you spend here, the more each and every one of you start to have memories of having encountered Zybilna when you were just a child. Some of you ran into her in your home. Some of you remember being here at this carnival. All of you have a vague familiarity with this place that it just seems like you've been here before, but some of you remember specifics. In part of being here at the carnival, you all have had an opportunity to compete for the hallowed title of Witchlight Monarch, which carries significant weight not just here in the carnival, but in the Feywild in general. After doing some investigations, following up on a number of leads given to you by a hungry halfling named Elliewick Tumblestrum, and from a particularly prickly but chatty kinku named Kettlesteam, and many other leads, you all have realized two things. Someone here is stealing important things from people. Each of you have been told at one time or another there was something that you lost here that you have not gotten back, up to and including your memories of the place, because everything has its price in a trade. And two, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, the two Shadarkai patrons of this carnival, the same Shadarkai who originally founded the carnival you know all too well in Ravenloft and traded it to Isolde, are hiding something. Tatiana and Valentine managed to sneak in and overhear a conversation between them before ambushing them and managing to steal a magical weather vane from Mr. Light and a pocket watch from Mr. Witch. The weather vane began talking to Valentine before you all were whisked away into the mists at the beckoning of Faranz Alhonen, and now find yourselves deposited back at this exact same spot, surrounded by a high, thorny hedge that is nearly impenetrable. You all have come running up to find Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, who look like this, tangled up in a row of brambles and thorns that Tatiana has caused to leap to life. And as they struggle, you see Tatiana holding this pocket watch in the vein that says to Valentine, "Oh, we can have some fun now." What would you all like to do?
So I have the weather vane again, right?
You do.
And we also have the knowledge that we were just transported from a festival of the dead back to these very...
Oh, we're back.
Back in the middle of something. Okay, I'm going to hold up the weather vane and try and do something. I'm just gonna charge it up to the sky and see if there's any effect.
Valentine.
Yes.
You understand intrinsically that yes, this weather vane has not insignificant magical properties, but you also know that ultimately what it does is control the mood of the carnival. And it is very preoccupied with making sure everybody has a good time.
Yeah. I'd like to make sure that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light are not upset.
Ooh.
I'd like to do a big scale equivalent of calm emotions through this tool.
You all see Valentine holds her hand up with a smile, and just all of you just kind of start to feel a little relaxed. You actually see even the hedges sort of like rotate a little bit, and then you see the guards of all manner of sentience that were running your way sort of like lighten their pace a little bit. And overhead, the wind calms slowly, the music goes down just slightly, and the mood just becomes really just mellow and chill. Tatiana, you are aware that with this watch, you can command the carnival to move. It will pack itself up. It takes a little time, but it will pack itself up and go where you tell it to go.
Valentine, I don't know quite how to say this, but I feel that I have stepped into a remarkable amount of power.
You certainly have. Please be careful.
I don't know what you guys are holding, but I feel so happy to be back.
Yes.
Me
Yes,
too.
I feel fantastic, but my real question is, does anybody know where the unicorns are? I got dressed in my unicorn best, and I want to dance.
Oh, and
Desmond,
I
you've
say
never looked so good.
that is an amazing piece of apparel. If I may, it really sets off your natural attractiveness even more so. You are a very regal and noble icon, an avatar, a paragon, if you will.
Are you still competing?
Oh, yes, I suppose I am.
But they haven't announced a winner yet. They haven't announced a monarch.
Oh,
Well, they're going to have to soon because they're packing up this carnival tonight.
Are they?
True.
It's too bad. I'm having
Right,
such
Watch?
a wonderful time.
Question for the dungeon master. What is the demeanor of the guards that were accompanying Nahara and I? Are they still somewhat perturbed at us, or are they a bit more?
You see, they were after you for the kerfluffle you caused with the dragonfly, but again, they seem to have like mellowed up a little bit as they're walking over. Both of you, when you say they haven't chosen a monarch yet, and Tatiana, you say it's because the carnival's moving, both Mr. Witch and Mr. Light look at each other and they're like, no, that won't be necessary. I think we can come to some sort of arrangement. And they both...
What kind of arrangement would you like?
They both vanish. And on the other side of you, they both reappear, but they look shadowy and spectral, like they are made out of smoke and fog. All of you can give me history or arcana checks.
All right.
Tin for Tatiana. On
I
brand.
should use dice or digital. It's a tough decision.
I've got a 16.
I've got a
9.
15.
I do
To
appreciate...
history or
Ever
arcana?
digital.
I appreciate that Desmond's image is froze for a second with a very sad face. Yeah. Yep. So it was a sad unicorn. That was a 10, and what else do we have there? Sorry.
15.
15? 16.
9.
I have a 7.
7. Nahara and Valentine, it actually somewhat makes sense that you two would be the ones that have this sort of an insight. What they've done is not uncommon for Shadarkai, shadow elves, to be able to do. Even though they are elves, they are at their core literally made from the stuff of shadow, and on occasion they can willingly turn back into it for a time. It makes them much harder to damage, but it also makes it harder for them to do damage. So seeing these wispy outlines of the two of them is fairly standard.
Excellent. So you suggested that I take a look at what this wand can do. I've felt my connection with it. So I'd like to turn to the shadowy, starry creatures, and I'd like to cast polymorph on them through the wand.
I just want you to know something. When I read this stat block, I was like, that is what she's going to do. Like, but I was like, I know my friend. I know how she thinks. That's What would you like to polymorph them into? Beast. Polymorph turns them into beasts.
Okay. What kind of beast? But the same thing as like wild shaping into a beast, right? So it could be any kind of animal then, in theory, if like.
Technically,
a druid
it's a beast type.
It's a
You
wild
know what
shape.
I mean? Like for the most part, the kind of animal that might actually exist in our world are usually beasts.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. Then I would like them to be a bunny. I would like them to be bunnies.
Yes. Wait. We can negotiate. Okay. Hold on. And they both turn.
And I'll scoop them before they get away.
What do the bunnies look like, by the way?
So, Mr. Light is one of those like little white rabbits, Monty Python style, with the really red beady eyes. And take a look at Mr. Witch here. Mr. Witch is one of those like chunky, kind of like almost calico-y colored, the brown and white spots with the floppy ears going down.
And you scoop up these two rabbits, and they just very happily nuzzle against you. They're like,
oh no, gross. Tatiana.
Oh, fuzzy
Nahara?
bunnies.
What do we do with them?
I'll take one.
We don't currently get murdered by them, so that's exciting. From here
That's
on, I
us.
have no other plan.
They did seem more in a negotiating mood than an eviscerating one.
But then, so they said that, and then they transformed into a shadowy, intangible creature. Actions do speak louder, in my opinion.
Do you want to ask them with, your crazy mind tricks?
Could I speak with animals? Would that work on?
Oh, I also have beast speak. Let's talk to our bunnies.
We get to speak to the animals. Okay.
which one do you speak to? Witch or Light?
Which one do I have? Or did you not specify?
I just
Why
held
don't you
them
ask
out,
him?
so you can take whichever one you'd like.
I'll take the floppy-eared one.
All right.
All right, then you've got Mr. Witch.
Sounds like
The
witch.
All right. Perfect. Hang on, I'm just checking one quick thing. Great. Okay.
Terribly sorry, but this is for the good of everyone's good time. What did you exactly plan on doing there when you got really shadowy?
Carrots?
Carrots. I don't believe that's what. I think we have a miscommunication. What is it
Carrots.
that you are seeking? Carrots. All right. He wants carrots. Apparently, he wants carrots. This is not going to work.
Oh,
Tatiana, maybe.
I think this is a bit different than what Tatiana does. I think as far as they're concerned, they are rabbits.
Tatiana.
Let me try.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Mr. Light, I say in bunny. It is I, Tatiana. You may remember me from such times as me stealing your umbrella. Thank you for that. Wondering, why are so many things going missing in your carnival?
Wolf, 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 wolf. And the rabbit starts squirming in your arms, trying to get away from Desmond.
I grapple it.
I back away. I just back away. I just
That's a
move.
unicorn, not a wolf.
You can feel its little rabbit heart just pounding in his chest.
And I back up quickly because
Yeah.
Desmond knows rabbits don't do well with high heartbeats.
I'm not sure we're going to get any useful information out of them when they're in this state, but we could restrain them and then return them to their normal forms.
Maybe.
Last time I did that, they turned into smoke.
Tatiana, do you have a carrot? I don't carry snacks on me.
I have some kippers, but I don't think rabbits eat dried fish.
No, he's very insistent on carrots.
I usually carry extra rations specifically for Tatiana. Can I just fish around and see if there's anything carrot-like?
Here's an important point of clarification, because up until now, we've established Tatiana's a pretty hardcore carnivore, which you want.
I was going to say I absolutely have no carrots, but I did stuff my pockets with illusory turkey legs last time.
I would say, believe it or not. So, like, I hate nuts, right? So when I eat trail mix, I get down and just have a bag of leftover nuts at the end. So actually, it's more likely that you might have some dried carrots and things of that nature, because it's the one thing she doesn't eat. So yes, You know what? Hang on. We'll let fate decide here, Valentine.
All right.
Roll. We'll make it 50-50. Roll a d20. If it's 1 to 10, you don't have it. If it's 11 to 20, you do have it.
I do not have it. I rolled a 5. I don't know what modifier that would be. And unless that modifier happens to be deception or persuasion, I don't think I've got it.
No carrots after all. However, you do hear, you guys are incredible. I am so glad I paid for your tickets. I have never seen anything like this before.
And Uriah, before he even turns around, just says loudly, "The hungry halfling."
Okay, that's somewhat of a misnomer. Okay, I mean, I can put it away, but I mean, I'm just like a normal halfling. And those of you who have met her, see Elliewick Tumblestrum standing there. She's got brown skin, black hair, pulled back in a ponytail, with a big smile on her face. You notice everybody else, based on your command, Valentine, sort of mellowed out some, happily, but even.
Yeah.
She's got a very big smile on her face. And it's like, this is awesome. Can I pet the bunnies?
Who are you?
Oh, me? Oh, Elliewick Tumblestrum, at your service. I am the greatest bard in the multiverse.
I saw you up in the air from when we were in the dragonflies.
That was the thing with they actually fly backwards. I did not know that was true.
No, I did not either.
Just nice to meet you. Nice to meet all of you.
What?
Big fan.
Yeah,
Why
it's a
did
great,
you pay
great
for our
pleasure.
tickets?
Yes.
I thought it would make an interesting story, honestly. I've heard about you guys. I get around. I travel a lot. Planeswalker. And I sort of knew that you guys were coming through here and you were heading this direction. And I was like, where's the one? Is she?
Oh, that's a very good question. Where's Finn?
Where is Finn? She was
Finn?
She was running towards here with the rest of us, and then is she not?
I'm sure she'll turn up.
Is she still in Garcon?
Wait,
Maybe if her emotions were too calm, she went to find Isolde.
That's true. Or I mean, she also was kind of hooking up with that mer lady back over there, which I mean, I get it. Like,
What? Scandal.
That was not for me to say. Sorry. Hey, so you guys are here on this like Zabilna thing, right? I listen.
Yes.
Yes.
I might be able to help with that.
Well, Miss Tumblestrum,
How?
we'd certainly appreciate any assistance you have to offer. Did you say you're the greatest bard in the multiverse?
Yeah. Like,
I don't.
the greatest bard in the multiverse.
That's tough. We kind of have a bard who, and Desmond's like still away because the bunny's like,
Right.
That's tough because we still have a bard who's got like
I know.
instruments.
It's a weird flex, and she does pull her guitar out, and she's like, I mean, I can show you if you really want to know.
Nahara, correct you
Yes.
Yeah, how could we turn down the opportunity to listen to the greatest bard in the multiverse, self-proclaimed or not?
I would love to.
You got to prove it.
I just started playing, but I'm just learning.
Yeah, no. You get. Do you have your loot here? Like, I mean, I could give you some pointers on the fundamentals. Hang on.
I do. I don't in real life. I forgot to bring it into this room, but I do.
Imagination. She strums her lute and she sings, and it's magnificent. It's like time stops while she's singing. It is like you can see across planes and dimensions and forwards and backwards, and just a few short notes resonate into your soul. She really is the greatest bard in the multiverse.
I didn't even
That
know
was wonderful.
I didn't even know that you could do that.
I'm not crying.
I am. I certainly am crying.
No. I'm accustomed to that. It's a response I often get. She walks forward towards you, Valentine. And
Yes.
You get the distinct impression that even though halflings age differently, she's probably around a similar age as you. And she walks up and she's like, hey, I know this is weird, but I kind of feel like I want to help you in particular, because you get, all of you, but you in particular, you get pulled in a lot of directions. And I mean, Nahara, I get it. That's why I just figured maybe if I had a chance to like do you guys a solid when everybody else is constantly trying to screw with you, I just should. You know what I mean?
Nice.
I'm going to gather by how much you've traveled and how much you've seen that you would understand why that seems extremely suspicious to me.
Yep. I know. So that's why the next.
But I do admit, I have felt that being pulled in different directions since I got here.
Mm-hmm.
I do know what you're talking about.
Is there something that you want from us in return? I'm not saying it's not on the table, but I'd like to know.
Nope. Not this time. You know how when you ate that muffin and then like everything kind of like feels okay for a while? Like I could help you in particular, Valentine, with the okay feeling. Because I know that like you probably don't feel okay a lot of the time. A bard thing. You know, I just do that, and it helps. I tried to like. That's why I travel so far, because things are pretty rough for people in most places. You know, there's monsters and kings and gods and vampire. Wait.
Toe muffins.
Wait.
Don't.
Wait.
Well, I thought that's what you were talking about.
No. I need to wait.
I ate a muffin earlier.
Oh, that muffin. I bet it was much more pleasant than.
Excuse me. There was a muffin with a toe in it?
Unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Where?
You mentioned muffins first, though. I thought you remembered.
In my mouth.
In point of fact, it was this toe.
You kept the toe?
I'll put the toe away. I still think.
Well, it's kind of
think
his.
it could come in here. It's not really mine. I've got all mine. But in any, I'm sorry. I really wrecked the mood by showing that toe.
Hey man, I'm not here to yuck your yums. I mean, in this case, the truly yuck to those yums. But whatever. No,
I don't consider that yummy.
Look, you guys. Hey, I'm not some all-powerful, all-seeing thing. I'm just a humble girl who happens to be pretty good at the guitar. Because you want me to? I mean, it's Desmond. I am not just telling people I'm the greatest bard in the multiverse. I'm actually the greatest bard in the multiverse.
You know a song about unicorns?
I think so.
Oh, the unicorn song? Yeah, absolutely. All of you give me either insight or arcana. Also, as an aside, Mark, I've never wanted Jason Charles Miller to be here so bad my entire life that you're like,
Don't we all?
Do you have the rights to that old Irish Rover song about a unicorn? Just play that right now.
I have an 8.
23.
For insight or arcana?
23. What was that for Desmond?
That is
13.
Whoa.
28.
28?
Sheesh.
I'm pretty good. I'm kind of good at insight.
Mm-hmm.
I've just got a 22.
22, and then Nahara, what was that for Nahara?
It's 23.
Uriah, she's not lying to you. She really, at least she truly believes she's the greatest bard in the multiverse, and she really is just trying to help. When she's like, I've seen how poorly you all have been treated, and I just want to do you a favor, she is telling the absolute truth. Valentine and Nahara, you realize she is just soaked in magic, very powerful magic. Like, it's just radiating off of her.
Uriah steps forward and just extends his hand to her and says, Miss Tumblestrum, there comes a time when trust has to be extended, and I'm willing to assure my companions that we should do so in your case. It is very nice to meet you, and it was an honor and a privilege to hear you play.
She shakes your hand, and she's like, you know what? Mangata said it would be you were the one that would listen to me first. I thought it was going to be Tatiana. I did. Because I feel like, you know, we kind of got this wild girl vibe that we both know how to party. But that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
She is also very hungry. She is also very hungry, usually.
We got so much in common. Hey, so...
We'll talk.
Witch and Light, brilliant. They are sneaky devils, and they probably would have tried to get you to barter away your firstborn or your memory of your mother's face or something for what I'm about to tell you. I can help you.
I put him down at this moment.
Right. I'm like, I can help you get to Prismir. I can help you get to at least Zybilna's domain. I don't know where she is because I haven't been able to get in yet, but at least that's something I can do for you.
All right, that would be very helpful. Very helpful indeed.
Yes, it
Very.
would.
Why are you doing this for us? Just because everyone else is not helpful, you said?
There's
please.
so much grossness in the world that if I can shine a little light, I try to do it.
Just forgive us for being so hesitant. We're just very not used to anyone being kind for kindness' sake.
I get it. I hear that a lot, honestly. But hey, I mean, you guys tell me how you want to handle it. I can show you the door. I can just tell you the door. I'll keep my hands where you can see them. You know, whatever you guys like. Also, you know what? Actually, Valentine, I'm wrong. There is something I want. There's something in this for me.
What?
I need that outfit that Desmond's wearing. I need that, man. Where did this come from? I need this fit. I need
I
it.
actually have no idea where he got that. He kind of
This
just
was
came
custom.
back
I've had
with
this
it.
the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
The whole time?
Wait.
The whole time. You may not understand how much I love unicorns. When it came up
Apparently.
here, I found the perfect reason to actually bust it out. It's been here the entire time. I don't know.
I don't know if you can still win the Monarch when we've turned the judges into bunny rabbits.
Valentine. Yes, Valentine. First, yes.
Now, this staff is so very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly powerful.
Mhm.
Does it have the ability to create a onesie? On paper, no. No, it doesn't. But I would argue by a strange combination of things, could I polymorph her into Elliewick Tumblestrum wearing a unicorn onesie?
1,000%. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
I'll just like look
No.
at the staff thing and be like, I'll like take a better look at Desmond and just kind of like,
Yo!
Right? It's the best.
When she pulls the hood up, which bunches over her
Don't
black
forget the ears.
hair.
Don't forget the ears.
There's ears?
And
What?
there's a tail. Don't forget the tail. Touch the tail. It's the best. It's so soft.
You both look as majestic as the most beautiful trees in the entire plains.
Now,
And
I
now,
need to dunk my head in some water.
now,
I have a
I'm
question.
not crying. I'm not crying. I'm not. It's Dusty. This new unicorn.
It's glory. Sometimes when you see something glorious enough, you have to let a tear or two out. Just two. Just two. Accept your two. And if a couple more fall out, that's fine. Because this is glory. Welcome
and
to glory.
right. And when you're done, I have some questions.
And she
One,
is just like playing with the tail of the Kigurumi. Like,
The best, right?
yeah, okay, I'm gonna power through this. One, why are children and things going missing at the carnival?
so again, I keep an ear to the ground, right?
Mhm.
These two, she points at Witch and Light. She's like, cut a deal with the Witchlight Coven that they let them take people from here that don't have a ticket or break the rules or something like that. Back in the days, Zybilna would have made sure none of that happened. So I don't know if maybe without Zybilna to be their backer, they went with the next best thing. I don't know.
Understood. So these two should probably stay rabbits because it sounds like they're terrible.
You know, and she does lean down
they
and she
terrible?
just like scritches.
It struck a deal to let children disappear.
Well, at least before, the rules in Prismir is it's not possible to harm a child. So maybe they thought that even though, yeah, taking them from their parents is kind of messed up, that no real harm would come to them. And she leans down and she scritches on Witch's chunky belly, and he literally just rolls over and his like back leg is kicking. She's like, they're not bad. They're just scared. They just don't want to go back to that other carnival. They're so scared that they're gonna have to go back. You guys been to that?
Certainly sympathize. I certainly sympathize with him.
I honestly cannot think of anything except I am exceptionally hungry.
Oh,
You want to hit the feasting orchard? Because we could do that. I mean, I know.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just real quick
Doing a
to the
walk and
feasting
talk?
orchard. Yeah, and then we'll be on our way. Although
As Tatiana starts to walk, she accidentally casts a firebolt at the ground.
the watch leaps to life and flames erupt, and the two rabbits jump backwards like.
Grab one of
That's not
whichever
good for
one is
rabbits.
loose and hand it back to somebody.
This thing might be more powerful than I. It might be chocolate. No, not chocolate.
It's not chocolate. This, Valentine, as you guys begin walking, and Elliewick is regaling you all with stories about the time that she went spell jamming with the Githyanki and a lot of other words that really you'd never heard before and aren't completely sure mean the thing she's saying they mean. The scepter says to you, excuse me, Valentine, hello, hi.
I don't appreciate extra voices in my head. It's rather full in here.
That is interesting. That is not a note I've ever gotten. I will, I was going to say I'll try and find another way to communicate. I could just like make you with feelings and stuff, but that's less precise than I like to be.
What do you need? Can I help you?
It's time to select the Witchlight Monarch. Mr. Light would have done it, but he's somewhat indisposed right now. He does not have thumbs.
Oh, that's you're putting me in a very difficult position.
No, I believe you have put me in the position I'm in. It's not difficult. I'm having a great time. I think you're doing
Can't you just select it?
No, that wouldn't be fair. No, you're doing an excellent job running the Witchlight Carnival. Everybody's having a good time. The vibe is good. The vibe, I'm very vibe based.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, whosoever wields this scepter, that's me. It's weird to refer to myself in the third person, but I'm a talking object, so here we are. Whosoever wields me selects the Monarch. There's a whole big show planned in the Big Top. I assume you're not interested in the Big Top show, but I mean, you can just declare it, and it is.
Okay. Let me think on that for a moment, if you wouldn't mind. While everybody's walking to the food stands, I'd like to stop back by the Lost and Found and just drop a quick message.
As you get close, again, Dilagron is there, lounging with the same children that you saw before, just sort of running around nearby. And when you approach, she looks at you and she's like, Valentine, you've returned, I see.
I have. We'll be leaving soon, but I have a piece of information that I think could be useful. It would appear that Mr. Witch and Mr. Light have made a deal with the Witchlight Coven, that they're the reason that people are going missing. I don't know if they're hurting the people that they take. Apparently they weren't supposed to, or at least Mr. Witch and Mr. Light didn't think they would. So potentially if you track down the Coven, your child will be with them.
She leans forward and you feel a growl coming out of her. You don't hear it so much as it resonates in your chest. She's like, have you harmed Witch and Light? I see you have the scepter.
No, they're perfectly fine. They're just indisposed.
This is troublesome indeed. Thank you. Is there something I might do to be of some assistance to you?
I'm supposed to pick the winner of the Monarch thing, and if it comes from me, it'll be really biased and it feels deeply unfair. They're all my friends, and obviously, Large Blue One, she's my favorite. I'm very biased in that, but I love all of them equally. Don't tell them. I swear to God, you will not tell them.
Of course not. No, we can discuss these things as friends. We are both apex predators, I think.
Something like that.
Perhaps.
So I don't want to pick between them. It makes me uncomfortable.
Perhaps we should relegate this to chance, fate, perhaps, if they've all been equally festive. I have heard Brother Uriah being quite effusive in his praise, Nahara having greeted the trees as she walks past. I have seen the sufficient hydration of the flower crown on Tatiana. It blooms wonderfully, but... Did Desmond cosplay a unicorn?
Yes, yeah, no, he's done really the whole thing. They've all been very committed. I mean, there's a lot of commitment on the unicorn side, I will say.
There is something that you have forgotten. Valentine.
You see, no, now that I have had the power bestowed upon me, it would be deeply unfair for me to participate. Therefore, dancing is no longer on the menu.
But you are still festive in your own way. You have done this, I think. I have consulted the Chance Cube, and I know who the Witchlight Monarch should be. And she leans over and whispers something in your ear. Meanwhile, over at the feasting orchards, Tatiana, this halfling can put it away, man.
I don't even notice because I am so deeply ravenous and thirsty. I've never been thirstier. I stick my face into the fountain and just drink.
All of you give me perception checks.
Also, a wonderful way to keep those flowers hydrated.
Hang on here. I have to send one quick message here. I'm being sneaky.
21.
21. Okay.
26.
26.
I don't know if you wanted me to roll, but I rolled a nat 20, so now I gotta say it.
I didn't. I'm gonna let you bank that because they're all noticing something that you already know. But you can keep that in your back pocket that you got that 20. 26. There was a 21. Valentine's not there. Desmond.
12.
12. Desmond. I mean, Tatiana. It's a thing. Nahara and Uriah. This is more for Tatiana. Even she's got a prodigious appetite, but I mean, she's eating magnitudes more than usual. She's literally eating like a horse.
Interesting.
I think I know.
Do you suppose this could be a manifestation of her curse? Is she eating for herself and her shadow, perhaps?
Oh, maybe.
Well, it's just a theory. But by the way, did you hear what Elliewick Tumblestrum was speaking of before, this spell jamming? Do you think it actually involves jam?
I don't know, but maybe Tatiana would be interested then.
I think she would, in any sort of preserves or jellies or anything that's available. Look, I think she ate that entire chicken, bones and all.
Oh, what kind of jam are we talking now? And Desmond still just like at a distance because Bonnie's like, what kind of jam are we talking about?
Elliewick is like, we could jam. We could jam
spells.
If you want. Like I could jam with spells if that's the. Oh no, spells. Yeah, no. Okay, all right, hang on. You guys, I know.
I'm afraid I didn't quite grasp the concept of this entire thing.
She is eating a mutton leg, the size of her arm here. As Tatiana is like plunges her head into the fountain, and she's like, I feel like you and I connect. But anyway, okay. You guys, hear me out. I know this is going to sound wild. I got no reason to lie to you. She motions up to the stars overhead, and she's like, imagine if you could go on a ship that could sail up there.
How is a ship supposed to sail on the air?
Well,
some sort of magic, I assume?
Well, then you get it. There's spheres. There's spheres. There's still like currents that go between the worlds. It's wild. No, I once rode on one, looked like a wooden swan, but went out and it worked, and we didn't die. It's the strangest thing. It's cold up there, though. You wouldn't believe that. You'd think, yeah, but yeah.
Are you speaking of?
We called it spell jamming.
Surely you're just speaking of traveling to other planes, which of course is theoretically possible. In fact, we know it's possible.
No, literally, yeah, like we're doing it now.
Is literally,
right. I mean, I've done a number. No. I don't mean planeswalking, because I mentioned that's a thing I do. No, I do that. Mm-hmm. No, like vessels that go to the stars, and then there's people that live on other planets out there.
So just
a little far-fetched.
Wait, Tatiana, Jibaku never told you about what it was like back home? Like, she's not from here. She's from there. She, like, never mentioned this to you?
She always said a fighter's past doesn't matter when they're in the ring. And she would slap me and say, forget your own.
You know,
that's great.
That sounds like a very Gith response. Well, hey, I'm here to tell you, your teacher is from the stars. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, you know, but maybe. Yeah. Yes.
I just was curious. I'm wearing a onesie of a unicorn that is covered in stars because as Ranger, you know, I spend a lot of time paying attention to the stars, kind of understanding when moons and whatnot are coming. You're saying that there's other places out up there, and we can go there?
She stands up on the table and she walks over towards you. She's like, Desmond, bring it down. I need you to get close.
He just kneels and just right. Okay, yeah.
She looks you right in the eye and she's like, Desmond, there are unicorns in space.
Don't play with my soul like that.
I swear on this Kigurumi, I would not lie to you.
I'm just picturing this huddle right now.
We are wearing this together. Yeah. If you are saying
I feel like we're connected
that we can meet,
yes,
I'm going to need that in and around my life.
You know what? Okay, hang on a second. Valentine.
Just in case, just want to sprinkle this in there. I love unicorns.
Valentine's gonna be back any second. I already hear her coming, and she says I hear her coming, and like there's a whole carnival going on. There's all kinds of noise, Desmond. You don't hear her coming, but she's like, yeah, I hear her coming. So
how you wait? I have fantastic hearing. You hear her coming?
I got an ear, Desmond. I got an ear. You know,
I'd like to think she can very lightly hear a slight click on the pavement of a stiletto.
she's like, so you guys, you know, you got a thing. I tell you what. You guys are gonna have to go. You're going to Prismir. You got a thing. I gotta go because I'm needed in you ever heard of a place called Cran? Never mind. The details are not important. No. That is another plane. That is not another planet. I gotta go do a thing. But maybe like eventually I can round up a ship and then I'll come get you guys and we could like go spell jamming. Like we could literally go spell jamming, you know, in space. And like you like Nahara can play her. Wait, what is the thing you play? You play a lyre. I play a lute. Yeah, yes. we could jam in the stars. How about that? Huh?
In space.
In space. Unicorns in space.
While jamming on the lyre and the lute.
Sounds
like fun.
We just all gotta, I don't know, live, right? You know, that can't be that hard. Yeah. And you see Valentine comes walking up, and Valentine, you immediately see Elliewick and Desmond apparently having a very serious moment as she's looking at like him square in the eye, like she's telling him the most important thing.
I walk up aggressively on my stilettos. I'm gonna let that be. Okay. I'd like to just make a telepathic link with Tatiana. With no intentions of interrupting the eating, and just say I stopped by our tentacled cat friend, and I let her know what we had found out about Mr. Witch and Mr. Light and potentially her offspring.
While chewing, Tatiana thinks back. I feel that we did not help her much. We did not find her child.
I think that having the information to locate potentially the coven could be very, very helpful, and not just of finding her child, but of many that went missing, I'm sure.
Well, if anyone could free all of those trapped, it would be our friend.
I assume no one would try more fervently than a mother. So
I just wish I could remember if I knew anyone else missing. Or what else was missing?
well, I do assume that when we unpolymorph the two men out of rabbits, they will be sufficiently intimidated by our ability to have done this to them, considering no one else has up to this point, it would appear. So maybe we scare them into breaking the pact with the coven and getting all of the missing children back to the people of the carnival.
Right. It seems like this coffin is nothing but bad. Should we destroy them next?
Maybe after all of this. We've got
Right.
Sibilna and a lot of stuff to get to, but
We owe Zibilna.
next time we find ourselves bored without a mission, we know what's on the list.
I'll find Zibilna for Jibaku, my trainer, my mentor.
Is small Fae anywhere?
Thimble?
Thimble, thank you. Yes, is Thimble anywhere nearby?
You know, at first he isn't, but once you sort of look around for him for a couple of seconds, you see he's just floating nearby, smoking a very small pipe. Like,
I'll gesture Thimble over and did you meet Tatiana earlier officially?
No, we have not met. I mean, not like official.
Well,
I'll like put an arm out for it to land on like a little bird.
you're the new best friend. I'm the original best friend.
That's not
Oh, well, seems you've been replaced. And Tatiana puts down her turkey leg with some crumbs still hanging from her chin, grease, and just starts like pacing around little Thimble.
He sort of looks her up and down and he says, well, if I had to be replaced by somebody, I'm glad it was somebody as smart and fearsome as you.
Wait a minute. I don't know if I trust you. First you say threatening thing to me, and now... But we're cool?
Oh, I wasn't threatening. It was just an observation. I mean, I knew her when she was like yay big and, you know, and now you're the yay big.
Are you trying to fight with me? Why would you brag about such things? And I grab Thimble's tiny lapel.
He just looks at you, Valentine. He's like,
Tatiana, it's not a fight. I actually thought that Thimble might be able to help. Thimble obviously has been at the carnival for quite some time, and since a lot of us seem to have gaps in memory, I thought that maybe Thimble would be able to offer if there's someone in particular you feel like you've forgotten here. I just thought he might be able to help so that we could close this chapter. This is Nahara, Desmond, and of course Brother Uriah.
oh.
I'm sorry, Thimble. Misunderstanding.
No,
Second time.
You see, he very much is like trying to get like a barbecue sauce stain that was like on your thumb is like across like his whole little like lapel right now. And he's like, no harm at all. No harm at all. And he looks down at the watch in your hand and he goes, oh, you went that way with it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
What do you know of this watch?
Okay. Well, I'm just really proud of you. First of all, really proud of you. So I don't know if you guys know this, but it's like the vein kind of has a mind of its own, but it's chill. It just wants to have a good time. The watch doesn't really think, but the watch is just hungry all the time. That's why Witch is so grumpy. He's always hangry.
Oh.
That it didn't strike as that because it felt so totally normal for Tatiana.
Honestly, I didn't feel that different than normal, so I think I'm okay with this.
Yep.
And I strapped the watch on.
Just a question, though. Are we just supposed to pack up this carnival everywhere we go?
Oh, wait, no, you guys don't intend to take the carnival, do you? No, the carnival's great. People spend years and years and years waiting for the carnival. You don't want to mess that up, do you?
Important question for the group. Huddle. I could take this watch. It has many powers beyond just knowing when the carnival will leave. And I could have many powers of my own everywhere we go, even into the mists. Or I could give it to Thimble for safekeeping.
You guys notice you've huddled up and Elliewick is in the huddle, even though you didn't ask her. She's like, I say you hold on to it personally. I mean,
She's just in the middle.
Yeah, she's like, I mean, am I not supposed to?
It's fine.
No, it's fine.
Wait,
It's okay.
if we take these with us, can the carnival not continue? I'm gesturing at Ellie to come back in.
I don't know. I mean, this is how you control it. If you take away the reins from the horse, how do you make it turn?
Then it will be operated by the people like a co-op. All the carrots for everyone.
A socialist Fey carnival. Yeah. An autonomous collective.
I hereby give this watch the power to let...
Hang on, Tatiana. What, Brother Uriah?
He's just... I think you've reached the correct decision. I would hate to do anything that would jeopardize the existence of this place. It's rather wonderful. And I would hate to think that we were the cause of its demise.
No. I think if the means for it to travel have gone missing temporarily, we could always come back. Then it will just stay in one place.
It might upset a very delicate balance.
I will
Look, Uriah, I'm keeping the watch.
Brother Uriah, I will remind you. Lovely. I'm glad everybody's had a wonderful time. Even I will say the date was very, very cute. I'm glad you've had a wonderful time. The people running the carnival have been stealing children for witches.
That's problematic, yes.
Yes, but I do think...
Thimble does say, to clarify, they were allowing witches to steal children.
Feels like semantics.
No, but it is.
Yeah, I think any involvement.
Right.
Any involvement, pretty bad.
I do think your idea of perhaps entrusting Thimble with these objects of power might be a valid one.
Holding on to it for you, just temporarily.
Well,
Here's the thing. Elliewick already backed me up, and you remember what happened to my axe.
She is hangry.
Okay.
I need to have another meal.
What if we gave an item of power to Thimble and another item of power to Delagron?
Delagron.
Delagron.
Yeah. Thimble's like, well, that would suit me just fine. Whatever you guys think.
They seem like they would work well together.
He floats onto your shoulder, Valentine, and he looks you in the eye, and he's like, if you hadn't helped me all those years ago, I would have been raven food. So you tell me how you want this to go. I'm your sprite.
All right. I will run back over and get Delagron and pull Delagron over to us. Okay.
As you start heading her direction, she looks at you, and then she's just next to you. And she's there.
Oh, they do that a lot here. Okay, so these two rabbits are not currently trusted to run the carnival due to their duplicitous deeds against children. We don't like it. So...
It is problematic, yes. And you hear her growl, and the rabbits both.
You run the Lost and Found, so I think that you should keep Mr. Witch and Mr. Light and do with them as... You will, as you see fit, due to what they've taken from you. Here.
Two of her tentacles come down and wrap around them. They don't even fight it. Like their eyes are just huge as the tentacles wrap on them and pick them up into the air.
Nahara, you agreed. Brother Uriah, Desmond. And I just kind of point to the scepter as I'm going to give it to Delgrand.
I haven't made the acquaintance of this lovely displacer beast, but if you're willing to vouch for her, then yes, I concur.
She's huge. I mean, displacer beasts are always terrifying. They're about the size of a large lion. She's easily twice that size. She's about 1,200 pounds. And your head comes up to about her shoulder. And her huge butterfly wings go up about 12 feet into the air.
Well, Brother Uriah, Desmond, Nahara.
Charmed. And she stops and she looks at you for a second, Desmond, and she goes, Aren't you an interesting one, huh?
I just like unicorns. I don't know what I'm missing here.
Valentine, the scepter says to you again, excuse me, before I get handed off, are you going to pick the monarch? Because, I mean, I don't know that, normally Dilligron is a part of, like, the ceremony. I don't know if she's going to be, like, okay, like, doing it, because this
Okay,
I mean, you
everyone-
are the keeper of the scepter.
Everyone, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10.
Yes? And?
What is
10
it?
is best number, is
Oh.
biggest number.
Oh, with,
Tregram pops up. Oh, I know. Can I win? Can I be the monarch? I clearly know the number you're thinking of.
Absolutely not, and it doesn't matter what number they say. Go on.
I would select, the number 2.
That's what I was going to pick. Is it because we were together today and it was our first date?
It was,
Enough
Can I
of
also
the
pick
cute.
Never too much cute. Let it happen.
we would like to share the number 2.
We will both
No, wait,
pick
no,
2.
that came out wrong. We will both pick 2.
Oh, yes, we
All right.
both picked 2.
7.
It's
7, okay,
You
and-
Outlanders are very unique. Sharing a number 2. Okay.
Tatiana, I was asking everyone to pick a number between 1 and 10.
Obviously, 10 is biggest, strongest number.
Okay, well, it was 8, so Desmond, due to your commitment to unicorns and the outfit and general festiveness, and she does like a kind of half-hearted wave of like the wand thing, you are named the Monarch of the Carnival.
Oh, well done, Desmond. Well done. Congratulations.
I got.
Nahara,
Excellent.
Dilligron leans her head down and she's like, there is a pouch on my saddle here with a gift for the monarch. Would you retrieve it and place it for me, please?
Oh, absolutely. Here we go. Desmond, I hereby crown thee the Witchlight Monarch. As I
When
place it.
everybody starts cheering and you
Oh,
all
I already got one of those.
you feel like just a wave of happiness go through you. And when you put it on, Desmond, you can sprout a pair of beautiful butterfly wings.
Immediately, I do that.
Immediately, you see this.
Oh, that's really wondrous. Unicorn with butterfly wings, no less.
In space.
What's even better is it's a wolf unicorn that can fly through space. Oh, it's great.
Yes.
And he just like starts hovering and just like,
You stat block.
awesome.
You see, Elliewick looks and she's like, I knew it. That's why I needed you guys here. No one's going to believe this story. Would you believe a story that ended with a flying butterfly winged lycanthrope wearing a unicorn cosmic onesie wearing a flower crown?
I would not have believed that, no.
And Nahara does a very deep curtsy. Your Majesty.
Oh, yes, Your Majesty.
Your Majesties, I am a wolfy cornerfly.
Uriah, you realize that while everybody is sort of saying their goodbyes in handing off the items to Thimble and Dilligron, and she is placing the rabbits into nice but very secure containers, you do have a bit of a moment with Nahara before you all depart.
Well, I suppose we're going to be getting on our way soon enough.
Yes.
I just wanted to say how very much I enjoyed this evening.
I did too.
I mean, there were a couple of interludes within it which were not as pleasant, but while we were here together, I can honestly say this was one of the best nights of my entire life.
I can definitely say the same.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that. Well, thank
Maybe
you.
we can come back here one day.
Perhaps.
Although I hope it's not our second. I hope we can maybe have a second date before then.
Yes, and perhaps we can take a little piece of this place and this time here together with us. I know I will.
Yes.
I spoke to Mangata tonight.
Did you?
Yes, they came to me between blinks of an eye, really.
Oh,
She
what did you
said
say?
she said that hard times lie ahead for all of us. But I think if we are facing it together, that we will weather any storm.
I know we will. But truth be told, before we entered this carnival, I had some trepidations myself. And
Yes?
I know that I saw it in the deck. And I just know that now with Mangata saying that, I know that it just verifies it. And part of me is terrified. But at least I know that you're here. And our friends have been wonderful. And I know that we can, whatever it is, I know that we can get through it.
A very large piece of me wishes we could stay here forever, but I know that's not possible.
I know. Did she say anything else?
No, she was a bit frustratingly vague, I'm afraid, but I suppose we're used to that by now.
Yes.
Once again, thank you. And if I'm not being too bold, Nahara notices that he's sort of leaning forward on his toes.
And she lean forward and close her eyes.
He also
and a just pops up.
He also closes his eyes, and you feel a very, very tiny little peck on your cheek.
And at that moment, she almost trips forward, but doesn't.
I'm sorry. That wasn't too forward of me, was it?
No, not at all. And as she's trying to, she was leaning in so far that she was regaining her balance, standing back up straight.
Well, I suppose we should be on our way.
Yes. And I immediately was did anybody see that?
The moment you rotate, you see Elliewick is looking and with just both barrels.
I feel like we're all just watching on, not saying anything.
I just imagine Tatiana just slowly slurping a piece of pasta or something while watching all this transpire. Elliewick looks and she just says, "All right, it's high time you folks were elsewhere. Ready to move?"
Yes.
Yes.
She leads you all back towards the Hall of Illusions, that place where you all saw that sad halfling run in and disappear. Outside, there is a wooden mannequin of a grinning, raven-haired young woman in witch's attire and a green flowing cape hovering inside of a glass cabinet. At the top of the cabinet, a sign reads, "Tasha the Wizard, known for her hideous laughter." As you all walk into the Hall of Illusions, there are rows of mirrors that show you yourselves in all manner of different states and at different points of your life. You're all very young, adorable children. You old, withered to the point of seeming almost impossibly old, and everywhere in between as you pass by the mirrors, until she finally comes to the one that you all saw that strange dark-skinned girl wearing the pig mask take the halfling through. This is the place. Well, this is the portal, at least.
I see. What do we do? Do we just walk through? Is there an incantation? Or?
Oh yeah, no, of course. No, and she just leans over. She just like knocks on it. She's like, no, it's just a mirror, unless you like know the words. You know, I mean, you got to know the words. Like Desmond, you saw this. You like the whole thing was like, yeah.
That makes sense somehow. Yes.
All right.
I saw it, just didn't know it was going to be.
You're like really pretty
I'll leave.
pumped about these mirrors, huh? Okay, I get it. Like, bring something out of you, yeah, right?
I mean, also, I'm a wolf of unicorn. I'm a wolf of cornerfly. There it is. I mean, I've got a lot of things going on today. It's a good day. I'm a little excited. I'm sorry.
I get it. I mean, I wish I was a wolf of cornerfly. So yeah, it's maybe I wished for the wrong thing when I became the greatest bard in the multiverse. Maybe I should have wished for that instead. But you know that's.
You also have this onesie though, so we are sharing that. I mean,
that's something that we have forever.
Forever.
Did you say you wished to become the greatest bard in the multiverse?
Nah, I didn't say that. Nope, I didn't.
It definitely sounded like you said that.
It did sound a lot like that.
I feel like I would know if I
heard.
said something like that. No, you can't just wish to be the greatest bard in the multiverse. That's not a thing. Anyway, so when the portal opens up, it's gonna take you into Prismir, which is Zybilna's domain, her Fey domain. Fey domains are weird. Not so different from the place that you guys been before. More tricky, less evil. Still pretty evil. Still can be pretty dangerous. So like, keep your heads on. But I think you guys can handle it. I think you got it. And remember, if you live, unicorns in space.
I'm living just for that.
She does like kind of look at all of you and smile, and she's like, I like you guys. I hope we get to do this again.
I hope so too. I feel like there's so much I could learn from you.
She looks at you for a second and she goes, the card thing's weird though. The card thing's weird. I'm not gonna lie. The guy, I don't know how the cards know every time. Like I don't
know either.
Well, you know, maybe you're gonna get a chance to find out here. So unfortunately, I know this is gonna take you to Prismir, but I'll know anything else about it because the person that I learned this from didn't know I was listening. So, anything else before I do this thing?
Ready. And I'll take, Nahara will take Uriah's hand.
Oh, one last thing. One-way trip. You can get through this way, can't come back this way. So once you're over there, you gotta find another way back.
How did we do that?
Okay, yes, sorry. I was just also going to say we misplaced a friend of ours. So if you could also send her this way if you see her.
Yeah. No, I wanted to meet Finn. I thought she's dope.
But yeah, sorry, Nahara.
Check with the mermaid, I hear.
I mean, you know, I didn't mean to just like put her on blast like that. Yeah, I'll check. I'll check and I'll run her along whenever I find her.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
She says, "All right, everybody, repeat
Wait,
after."
one more time. Once more. Ellie, I pick her up in the biggest of bear hugs, like a true bear totem barbarian. And I say, we will feast again. And I would love to dance to your tunes.
You guys are awesome. Hey, that's all right. I didn't need a rib cage to sing. That's cool. Yes. All right. Everybody, gather around. And she opens her mouth, and when she talks, it is more like it vibrates through the air. Like the whole place like trembles slightly, and her words echo through you. And she says, hither, thither, here and there, wander, yonder, show me where. And the portal changes, and it looks like a whirlpool of bluish light and energy, just swirling. She says, there you go. Good luck.
All right. Who shall be first?
Can we all go?
If I make a decision, I go for it, and I leap through, but I grab Valentine's hand on my way.
I'm going to leap forward because I know what's going to happen, and I'm going to grab onto Tatiana's hand as well, not trying to get separated.
Good. All right.
Uriah was holding onto Nahara's hand. We'll look over at Desmond.
I'll do it.
After you, just like Your Majesty. Yeah.
Your Majesty as well. And then Desmond just like kind of like gets a couple big like flaps of his wings and then just like waits for one and just like bursts through the mirror.
Flies through.
Yep.
When just Nahara and Uriah are there, Elliewick says, "Oh, there's one other thing I heard. I don't know what it means though. Mind the rule of 3, future, present, past. Find the alicorn and free the dormant queen at last."
The
alicorn, like a unicorn?
It's a unicorn's horn, I believe. We have a unicorn. In theory,
I feel like Desmond would have been really pumped by that. Actually, a lot was happening.
I will tell him, but could you please repeat that?
Yes, find the alicorn and what now?
Mind the rule of 3, future, present, past. Find the alicorn and free the dormant queen at last.
Dormant queen? Well, that must be Sibylla. That must be Sibylla.
I mean,
mind the rule of 3.
I don't know of any others.
Future, present, past. Alicorn.
Find the alicorn. And free the dormant queen.
Free the dormant queen.
While you guys are talking, she just puts her hands forward and she gently pushes you. She's like, "Your friends need you."
Oh yes.
As we're pushing, I'm like, "Wait, how do we find a way back?"
And Uriah spends his last second on that side of the mirror just breathing in the scent of the carnival, which I will do right now. I've got the Witchlight Carnival scent right here. All right, so yeah.
Hey.
All right. We get pushed through.
And as you all plummet in through this magical portal to parts unknown is a good place for us to take a little break. But before we go, I actually have the list of patrons up ready. And I got to meet a not insignificant number of you all at Gamehole Con, which is a real joy. And again, thank you all for your support. You literally make it possible to do what we do. If you're not a patron, maybe check it out. Patreon.com/The Black Dice Society. We got a lot of bonus content there. We have at least one side adventure with everyone. Some people have 2 now. We have 2 full-length adventures, the Morning Rail and the Nightmare Lands. The Nightmare Lands was something. And also DM tips, all sorts of other things. I owe 1 more DM tips this month, so I'm going to put that up. In fact, if you guys got any questions, hit me up on Twitter. Let me know what you want me to talk about. But with that being said, these are our top patrons: Aaron Duran, Alan Zozo, Aurelia Roth, Blackwater Ronan, Brad DeMog, sorry about that, chewing up your name, Brian Dwyer, aka Nightsfall, Brian Kepi, Chris Lewis the Pretzel Bear, Chris Smoot, Christopher Clindering, Craig Savage, Kralia, Cynthia, David Bonney, D. Nicole, Donald Keller, Donald Scott Massey, Ducati, Flannel Fries, Forrest S. Moore, Graffumbly, Guy Vanderbrink, Ian Brooks, Josh Olin, Just Link, Callan Rohr, Kira Snow, Kyle Garrett, Matthew, Mecca Shiva, Mercy Malunius, that's a cool name, Mr. Albert, Nathan Crowder, Nick Bernard, Nightcrawler, also spelled in a cool way, Packery 101, Patch, Project Wolfbear, Reese, Reverse Quamath, Rob Bacon, Gollum Tremarco, Ronan Monkey, Rosie and Sean, It's Sip Happens, Rum Soaked Chicken, to Queen Bee, Tracer Vision, Undisputed Baron of Disneyland, Valdemar Night Road, War on Reality, We Nuckin' Futz. Y'all, we've extended to a 2nd page of top patrons. So thank you all, truly. Thank you all so very much. I gotta go to page 2. With Zort 1. Zort 1's got his own page right now. But hey, let's fill that one up too. So thank you all. We're going to do a quick 10 here, and we will be right back to find out what happens next. Don't go nowheres. Hello, and welcome back to a very fancy Black Dice Society. Big fan of the crown there. It's our job doing this. That's kind of incredible, honestly. I just like to take a moment to be like, we actually get compensated to do this, which is wild. All right, so as you all pass through the portal, after a swirl of mist and light, you stand at the edge of a raised and broken causeway under a hazy twilight sky. The causeway, which is built from pale stones that glow faintly from within, towers over the surrounding landscape, but large sections of it have crumbled away. The part that remains in place are separated by large gaps where portions have collapsed. A fog-shrouded swamp spreads out below you in all directions, and up from its muck wafts the smell of rotting plants. Also rising from the swamp is the music of nature, a discordant symphony of croaking frogs and singing birds. What would you all like to do?
Nahara will pick up her cards just to see if she feels that pull.
It feels pulled very strongly in one direction, in much less than the other two directions. You feel pulled. Let's see. Where are you, girl? I would just like to say, as an aside, there is so incredibly much in the Witchlight Carnival, in the Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Like, we could not do it justice if we spent the whole entire season here doing this. So you might see some of the high points of this, but if you get the chance to play this at your table, it is really something. You feel yourself being pulled almost straight ahead, Nahara.
Well, everyone, I can't exactly explain why, and I did talk to this about Brother Uriah earlier, but I've been feeling, ever since we got here, just pulled in certain directions, but never this strongly towards one in particular, and that is that way.
Wait, this place, so strange and beautiful. You said it was a swampy area?
Yeah. You can see below you, the causeway that you're on is about 20 feet wide, but 100 feet in the air. And as you look down over the side, you can see a swamp underneath you, some distance away.
Are there any alligators or some such creature swimming below us?
Give me a perception check.
My perception. So many windows. Sorry. We don't know. It's at least a 15, probably 17.
Mm-hmm. It's a swampy swamp. There's kind of a haze that hangs over it. Again, you all have you have a little bit of PTSD.
Sorry, it's a 20.
A dirty 20?
Dirty 20.
There's something large down there, but you can't make out what it is. Because sort of like mist and swamp gas kind of obscures it.
I cast Bespeak with this creature.
What's the range on Bespeak? You're 100 feet away.
Oh. The range on that's don't worry about it. I'm thinking speak with animals, which is 10.
While you're figuring that out, everybody else give me a perception check.
I rolled a nat 1.
Your mind is
for a
elsewhere,
total of
Nahara.
3.
Yep.
My mind is elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I also immediately rolled a 1.
You
I
know,
rolled a nat 20.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
no, you're checking out your wings, man. You know what I mean? You're like,
We're extremely polarized.
Yeah,
wings.
Nahara just got kissed. She don't care where she is right now.
It's true.
Okay.
Floating.
I can speak to this thing if it could hear me normally because I cast on myself.
Then yes, I'm gonna say you're too far away for conversation. yet, even though you have voluminous lung capacity, Tatiana, and that doesn't.
Echo.
Valentine, as you see, Nahara is looking at Uriah with anime eyes, and Desmond is trying to figure out how to flex butterfly wings. This place begins to open up to you, almost like you just have a sense of it, and it feels like the stories your mother would tell you when she was a girl about what it was like when she was growing up. Although she never really had the chance to ever take you back completely to show you everything. But just, it's got that same similar feeling as what you experienced when you came here of being more alive. The trees, the grass, the insects, the animals, that they're just so lush and vibrant. But this place feels broken. It feels disjointed. Something that you're aware of in a way that only a person who has also been cracked and put back together again can truly understand.
I'm just gonna kind of like scope out anyone that we might see, if the people that often are following are nearby.
As you do sort of look around, you don't see anybody up here on the bridge, but what you do spot is some distance in the same direction that Nahara was motioning. In the distant sky, you spot a great balloon made of patchwork material. It spins out of control as though punctured, causing the wicker basket that hangs from it to swing wildly. The balloon plunges out of sight, disappearing into the fog approximately a mile away. Fog, not mist. You all have become connoisseurs of such things. Fog.
Is this a haze?
Actually,
a haze?
Valentine, something else I'm going to give you on that 20 is, as you look around sort of, every direction you can see, there are thick walls of fog that border everything that is not so dissimilar from the mist. You don't feel that intrinsic malice from it, but it very much feels like a barrier. Just sort of, off that distance.
Uriah got an 18 on his perception. How much of that? I know Valentine got more, but what does he realize?
I would say everything but the broken part. You're just like, here, we're in a magical swampy place that is also surrounded by mist, and you also clock the plummeting balloon.
As soon as the balloon catches his attention, Uriah just goes, "Oh, I say, over there. This. Do you think they need help?
What is that?
Some manner of conveyance, perhaps. Magical, obviously. It was flying. It may have had passengers, though.
Do you think someone's in trouble?
Perhaps. I think I spotted where it landed. We should help if we can.
Does that happen to be in the same direction as the does? Yes, we should go further that way.
Real quick, you all showed up feeling pretty good about this. In one word, for each of you, are you still feeling good? Or are you starting to feel more worried or scared?
I think Nahara would still feel good at this point.
Yeah, I think Uriah's riding pretty high. Also, he's not in Ravenloft, so that's always a bonus.
Like it's a net positive no matter what they do to you here. Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Valentine looks rather tense.
Mm-hmm. Desmond's probably got to be having a red letter day, I think.
Desmond's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Tatiana, how about you?
Well, if Valentine is on edge, that makes Tatiana on edge, and I think that the powers of the umbrella have started to diminish. Also, it's been like half an hour since I ate.
I stole some stuff from the carnival also. We kind of pull out of my pockets. And
You're feeding me from one hand as I'm reaching around your back from the other and eating heavily as much.
It is true. After you turn the watch over to Thimble and pass through the portal, it's the effects are subsiding, and it is your normal high caloric need that grips you, Tatiana, not that madness that you were feeling momentarily before. Although
Valentine's pretty perceptive. I don't know if you're trying to hide it. I would assume that, like, knowing you well enough, she'd be aware that you're doing it and reaching around and completely letting you.
all of you roll a D8 for me.
D8, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Had one. It's gone.
Ooh, 8.
I lost.
Don't know if that's good or not.
I lost my
Might be bad.
I lost my D8 from my main set over the weekend at Gamehole Con, and it's like truly no, it like wounds me in my soul that it is incomplete now.
Call the con, make them turn it all upside down.
I got a 7 on that D8.
Nahara. Well, hold on. We'll go around here. Nahara. You notice nearby on the ground a golden acorn.
I would absolutely pick it up without hesitation.
Yep. As you look at it, it is, an acorn, a seed that looks like it's made out of gold.
Do I get the sense that this is magical in any sort of way?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. I wonder what this could be. Nahara thinks to herself.
You feel like you could plant it and something interesting would happen were you to plant it.
Really?
You just kind of understand that.
I think I'll hold on to this. And I will absolutely be planting this out of curiosity at some point.
No problem. What was that for Uriah?
That was a
theme
7.
going.
7?
Sorry.
7 for me.
Uriah, as you're looking at Nahara and she's looking at this acorn. Yeah.
He immediately thinks about another seed that was planted in Falkovnia.
I will send a message to Uriah and be like, I know this is like a theme going on here right now. I don't know what this does. Don't tell anybody else, just between us.
Oh, all right.
It's magic, though.
Nahara.
That could happen.
Unilaterally positive things, by the way. Yeah. That again, you're but both simultaneously positive, but you're never gonna hear about it ever again. It's not gonna come up.
Lies.
As you look over at Brother Uriah, you hear him say to you, I love you.
What?
I love you.
Why does your voice sound like that?
My voice sounds like what?
I love you.
I'm going to look around at this point because this is it coming from Uriah?
Right behind him, you see a big cherry red frog that looks at you, and as its throat sac fills, I love you.
Oh.
Do I hear this?
Oh, yes.
Well, that wasn't me, which is not to say that I object to the sentiment, but did that frog say that it loved you, or does it mean all of us
is it
as a
talking
collective?
to me?
It might be addressing the world. Hello, can you understand us?
I love you.
Thank
Can
you.
I speak with animals?
You absolutely
On
can.
this? Okay. You seem like a very upbeat fellow, or madam, or whatever you prefer to be. Hello.
What do you want? I'm croaking here.
Oh, hi. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb you. We just didn't know if you were referring to one of us or if you were trying to attract somebody else.
I mean,
Possibly.
I did not put on my good wart cream for nothing. Yeah, I'm out here. I'm like making it known that I'm up here. If anybody wants to party, you know what I mean, baby?
Got it. I did not mean to interrupt your mating process.
Hey, the guy in the hat, he's a little cute. Do you think I got a shot at him?
He is.
Introduce me. Tell him I said, hey, what's up?
What's it saying?
I love you.
Not too far from that, but a little more colorful, if you say.
Can it understand us?
Oh, I was speaking to it. It could understand me at the moment.
What's he saying?
Well,
I see his
yes,
lips
but-
flapping. What's he
Oh,
talking?
he doesn't understand common. He was
but it's speaking in common. It said that it loved us or me or you.
Well, that part, yes. But the other explanation part of it was not. I was. He would like to meet you.
To meet me?
And I turn Uriah around.
It definitely it hops forward towards you, Uriah.
Oh, and I just very amused at this. Just kind of. Gently push Uriah forward.
I definitely like him kind of stringy like this. All right, how you doing? Hey.
Yes, he's very handsome.
Does it want something?
I love you.
Interesting. Is this my familiar now? Is this how that works? I don't know how people get familiar.
Tell him he's got to kiss me and see if I turn into somebody beautiful.
Oh my, that's very forward. Uriah.
Yes?
This fella, I'm sorry, what was your name?
I mean, okay, all right, you're doing wing woman work for me right now.
Yes.
You're not going to believe me. I get this a lot. My name is actually Toad. My mother had no sense of creativity. Maybe she was trying to be countercultural, like she thought it would be funny. It is not.
Like ironic.
Yes,
okay.
But do you want an ironic name? Does that seem like something that would be a pleasing existence for you?
Listen, I think Toad is a lovely name. This is Toad.
Oh, Toad. Hello.
Yes, this is Toad. Toad, I hope this is not too forward, although I think it is. Toad just asked if you wouldn't mind kissing them to see if they would turn into a prince? I'm sorry, did I catch?
Well, if it helps break an enchantment or something like that, I am
seriously considering doing so.
Well, if Toad needs help, they've been enchanted into this form. Is that what I understand?
Hey, wing woman, stop trying to talk him out of it.
Hey, what do I get out of this? I kissed him first.
What's it saying?
He's telling me to stay out of it.
Oh, I see. Well, Toad, you should know that, of course, I am willing to assist you if you are in need, but emotionally speaking, I am spoken for. Just so you know. What's it say? Is it saying anything?
What's he saying? His lips are moving a lot, but they ain't moving on my skin, though.
Oh, well, if you must know, Toad, he's spoken for.
Oh, I'm not that kind of Toad. Fine. I hope whoever his Mr. Right is, knows how lucky he is. And the frog hops away.
If you tell me your preferences, I can maybe set you up with someone.
Desmond.
What happened? Am I still supposed to?
No. He harumphed his way away.
Desmond, roll a d8 for me.
I had a 5 when I rolled my d8.
As you are kind of taking all of this in, you notice overhead just a big, fluffy, white heart appears in the clouds over you, Desmond, and just kind of stops moving over you.
Somebody else see that cloud?
No, you all see it. It's there.
Yes.
Is that what is the deal with that? Like it just showed up. I'm concerned.
I'm not sure. I mean, it might be normal for this environment.
I doubt that. I'm gonna test it, and then like with that, he just like booshes like backwards, using the wings to just like fly backwards like 30 feet, just to see what happens. Just keep looking out.
It's you not to go towards it, but to get out from underneath it.
Yes.
It very slowly floats forward and just over your head.
What? I love you too, Cloud. That's awesome. And he just like goes back to the group like, okay, I don't know why a cloud is above me with a heart, but I think I love it back.
When you say I love it back, it gets visibly bigger, but just stays there.
It's funny because there was just a frog named Toad who apparently loved me.
I heard that. He was saying something like, I love you, which was weird.
Yes,
it was very
like,
I can't do the depth of the voice. I tried.
Apparently that was all that he could say in common. Yes.
Well, these
What
are
did he
strange
speak?
occurrences. And as this is conversations going on, I'm going to quietly just put that 8 point into the ground.
You gonna plant it somewhere?
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll come back to that in a second.
Okay.
Valentine, D8 for me.
Yeah, so I rolled that D8 when you asked earlier, and it's a 1.
Underneath you, the bridge just goes, and you become very concerned that this old busted bridge is just gonna give out underneath you.
Okay. How far is either side of the bridge from
20 feet
How long is
wide,
it?
but 100 feet up.
Oh, okay. That would be a very large drop that I would not like to happen. Great. Yeah, so I'm just going to usher everyone maybe off of the bridge to the other side of it and kind of see if I can get a look underneath it.
As you start moving, I mean, you're of course very petite. Tatiana and Desmond are both heavyweights, but every step they take, solid stone. Every step you take, it just groans and seems like it is just gonna give out underneath you.
I'm going to touch the ground and cast stone skin on the bridge.
Even before you cast the magic, it feels steady. It's rock, it's stone. It just sounds like it is just buckling and giving under you in particular.
Rude.
Tatiana, you give me a D8 also.
It is a 6.
Well, you're still looking over at the swamp, trying to find something to talk to. A cold wind blows up and hits you that just chills you to the bone, and it just smells awful.
I use my unending breath to hold it as long as I can.
It's, it's in your mouth now. It's in your mouth now. It's just.
Does everyone taste this?
Nope. The rest of you, I mean, you kind of heard like a wind whip up, but no, nothing else.
It must be that creature down there. They are laughing at me. They put this smell into my face before I can even make the winds buckle under my call.
Oh, yeah, that sort of thing happens. Next to Nahara, a shrub grows up out of the ground, like right there in front of you. And you can make out eyes and a face. Hello, welcome to Hither. Newly rebranded Hither. It used to be a part of his Prismir. Broken up now. Yeah, that happens. When you come, is this first time in a Fey domain? First time. This is literally a bush that is talking to you.
Yes, it is my first time here.
Okay, so things are weird. Everything's kind of vibe based here, like if you feel good, Prismir feels good. You feel bad, Prismir feels bad. So, I'm not here to tell you just just think positive, because that's kind of a jerk thing, 'cause you can't always think positive, but to the best of your ability, try and keep your emotions towards the happier end of the spectrum, and then happiness will come back to you. That is a lovely heart cloud you got going on right there, my man. That is...
Isn't it? It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You talking about good vibes. How can you have bad vibes with that above you?
It's hard to have
That
vibes.
is frustratingly like real life.
Oh, maybe don't. No, that's the thing you don't want to do. No.
Don't wanna
You're telling me my bad mood made this? This stench?
Uriah, do you still have that? You sprayed
I have an
something
idea.
and it smelled like the carnival. Do you still have that?
Please.
Yes, hold on. Here.
Again, I'm not going to be that kind of guy because, there's jerks out there that'll be like, hey, why don't you smile more? I am not that kind of shrub. No, but I do literally mean, there. Oh, no, that's nice. That's nice. Hey, you feeling a little better? You're relaxing a little bit? You feeling good now?
Yes. Yes.
I feel much better.
Tatiana,
Thank you, Uriah.
Tatiana, roll a D8 for me.
7. Go. Reroll.
Yeah.
3.
Right when you say, I feel much better, up from the swamp, a cloud of beautiful fireflies appears.
Oh,
and just sort of flit around you. It's like the night sky is around you. The moment you say, I feel much better, they just show up.
I cast levitate to fly with them.
See, that's the spirit. Yeah, just get into it. It can be difficult. I know, again, life can be tricky here. Sometimes disappointing things happen. That's the nature of things. I mean, just look at me. I'm an awakened shrub who's been alive for 40 seconds. But yeah, hey, thank you for that. Thank you for planting the acorn. Don't know. I owe my theoretical existence to you. What's your name?
My name's Nahara. Do you have a name, or do you have one that you'd like to be called?
I'm open to suggestions. You tell me.
Does anyone have...
Well, he's a plant. What about herb?
Herb?
You know what? I love ironic names. Yes, you should name me.
Yes, we did find out that earlier.
Herb, don't call it that.
No?
It's the on the nose, Herb. Oh, never mind. I'm already calling you that.
I'm with Herb.
But, here's the good thing, Tatiana. I don't even have a nose. Yeah. So, what brings you beautiful people here to town?
We are looking for someone.
Oh?
She's like an auntie to everyone. She kind of gives good vibes. Talks with children quite a bit.
Oh!
Sibilna?
Yeah, you're looking for Sibilna. Yeah. Now, again, this is strange because, again, I was literally magically willed into existence, and yet I seem to have an interesting bit of perspective on this. The person you're looking for is Bavlorna Blightstraw. Her castle's right down this way. You're not gonna be able to walk on the causeway. Like it's all busted down. They're just gonna have to come through and just redo all that. They're gonna repave and just that's gonna be a big civil engineering project. But yeah,
Bavlorna, did you say?
Yeah, that's her name. Don't say it too many times though, because when you speak her name, she can hear it. That's a hag thing. That's a hag thing.
Hag?
Yeah, you say their names and they know. It's weird.
And
When
don't say
he
the name
says that,
Bavlorna.
But what if we called her Bibi?
yes.
I think that would work. Yes, Nahara. What?
When Herb says that,
Mhm.
I'm going to send a message to Uriah saying that was one of the things that Granny had told me about, which is why I call her Granny.
Oh, right,
So to be
as
very
opposed to
careful.
her name. So yes, this person hag that we're looking for.
BB. We're calling her BB. I'm
BB.
Herb.
BB.
She's BB. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Say,
Phoebe.
Herb, you've been such a help. Is there any way that I could bring you along with us?
I do feel both literally and figuratively rooted to this place.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. Yep. But hey,
Well-
I'm glad that in our short time together, you have enjoyed our time together enough that you'd want to have me along. That means a lot to me. That's thanks. I mean, you planted me, you named me, you invited me to come on a grand adventure, and I just got to tell you, I think I'm the luckiest awakened shrub around.
Well, Herb, you have a wonderful personality, and I'm sure you're going to make many, many friends here. And I hope that we get a chance to stop by and say hello.
Hey, I will be right here. Maybe by the time you come back, maybe I was gonna say maybe I'll be like a towering oak tree, but I won't. I'm a shrub. But maybe I'll at least be like a bigger shrub. Just hey, just my floating firefly warrior here.
Yes,
but
I
there are
float
two of you.
past.
Yeah, that is non-specific, wasn't it? No, just remember, just try and go with the vibe, man. Because if you let this place harsh your mellow, it can become unpleasant.
Noted.
As the bridge loudly underneath Valentine. Yeah.
Valentine, do you hear that? Just think happy thoughts. It's so easy.
Well,
Yes,
it's not
a positive
always
outlook.
It's not
Yes.
always that simple. I understand, but it's to the best of your ability. Focus on the positive.
It's complicated.
Just squeeze
Hey,
real hard till the happy comes out.
It's I understand. I realize you can't tell that I'm making eye contact with you, ma'am, because I don't have a face. I just want you to know that your emotions are valid and you feel how you feel, and that's fine. And I support you, and I think your friends support you. It's just there are literal magical repercussions to getting caught up in too much of the sad stuff. That's all. But I mean, what do I know? I'm a shrub that is roughly 90 seconds old. So I just say.
Tatiana and the fireflies are just swarming around your head. It's like a school of fish almost.
And Valentine does look like a little particularly bothered. Like, to be fair, she's in a constant state of annoyed, but like there is a little more to it at the moment where she's just like looks deeply uncomfortable. And she's like doing her best to like,
Hey, again, I'm not looking at you now. You can't tell. I don't have a face, but it's not looking at you. I'm looking at, did you see, like, look at this guy with the butterfly wings. Look at that guy. That's a guy. That's a thing I haven't seen. Yeah.
He is the Witchlight Monarch.
Oh, your majesty. And you do see the shrub just shrink down slightly in front of you. And he's like, well, can I just, I'll give you just one piece of advice about BB. Since you helped me, you brought me into this world, right? I know it's gonna sound weird. I wouldn't have believed it if a newborn awakened shrub said it to me too. She's allergic to the sight of creatures running widdershins. She doesn't like widdershins.
What are widdershins?
Oh, it's going around this way. Well, if you were looking at me, it would be this way. But
that.
Yes, around this way.
Yeah, I was
counterclockwise.
I'm not aware of what a clock is, but I was trying to show you. But there's the limitation that I do not have hands. So, but Brother Uriah seems to have the truth of it. Yeah, he seems to have it figured out. You're a sharp guy, might I say, with impeccable taste in both fashion and companion, Brother Uriah.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you so much, Herb. You've been very helpful, actually.
No,
Extremely.
happy to help. Yeah, I guess you guys are gonna be on your way, and I'll be right here.
All right.
Good luck
I
out
hope you have
there.
a wonderful, wonderful time making friends with. There's a toad named Frog.
Yeah.
You might get along.
Oh, that's a well. I
There's
exist.
a frog named Toad.
There's a frog named Toad. Again, I'm a shrub named Herb. So I guess aren't we the pair? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, good luck on your journey. Hope it works out. Remember what I said about BB. It could be important, and hopefully I'll see if you pass back this way. Oh yeah. Thank you for giving me life. That's a thing. I appreciate that.
And I'm gonna just take out. I have water skins just for anybody who needs it. I would assume, and I'm just going to water him a little.
Woo! If that ain't a drink of cold water on a warm summer day. Yeah, I mean, literally, again, as well as figuratively. Hey, thank you. What was your name, by the way?
Nahara.
Thank you, Nahara, for the water and also for existence.
And I'm Uriah. Before I forget, while we're remembering things like widdershins and whatnot, there was something very important before we passed through the portal. Yes, we must remember the rule of three, the present, future, and past. We must find the alicorn and awake the dormant queen at last.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Wait. You said alicorn?
Alicorn, yes.
You know what an alicorn is,
yes. Oh, yes.
For those of you who don't, I imagine, I assume you all know that an alicorn is a unicorn. And a Pegasus hybrid is a unicorn that can fly. Oh, we are here to find an alicorn?
That must be a sight to behold. I mean, a Pegasus unicorn. Wow. Yeah.
So is the only difference that a Pegasus does not have a horn?
Wait. You can't be.
Yeah. That's very.
Take the majesty of a unicorn.
What is that?
Put it down to being a horn.
No.
When you start cutting me down, the fireflies start going away, and I sink lower to the
and then, the second she starts slinking, Desmond pulls out his flask and is like, Tatiana.
The fireflies come back.
And he just hands her the flask and is like, nice. Love you too, Cloud. And then I love mythical creatures. unicorn being a majestic, beautiful creature that you just have to respect because it's a horned horse, just full of majesty. Pegasi are similar in that they are majestic creatures that have all the benefits of horses, but they also can fly. The merging of the two is like rum and barbecue. It's just like two amazing things alone, but together. It's like smoked meats.
Some say
Like
peanut
smoked
butter
meats,
and
like
jelly,
you say-
but your choice was interesting.
Listen, we do
because
know that
rum.
We're still inventing new snacks, huh, Tatiana?
It's always snack time.
But say deep cut to the early summer. Yeah.
Valentine is walking around a little bit in just the close vicinity, trying to take everything in. And if there's like greenery kind of nearby, I feel like it would be almost on the spot wilting as she tries to just kind of scan everything she could possibly see.
Valentine, again, sorry to interrupt. You seem tenser than normal.
I suppose that was a bit obvious by the sudden wilting plants. They weren't kidding about plants reacting.
Yes, you are emanating with a swath of death and devastation, which honestly I find to be quite appealing personally. But of course, I'm always concerned about your well-being. Is there anything I can do to be of service?
Do you know much about this place?
Unfortunately, I am a creature of the mists. Although it does seem those ominous fog banks serve a similar function here.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, none of this makes sense to me, really. Why would having a happy feeling in your heart, which, let's be honest, gross, why would that make happy clouds appear overhead? I don't like this place.
Yeah, I don't. Something's not right about it. It's be vigilant. That's all.
You know, perhaps when we make it back into the mist, we could notify the Godbrain, all hail the Godbrain, about this place, and we can add it to the list for invasion and eradication. Clearly, this place should not be, and we can arrange to...
Not this place. Not here. It's not fit for the Godbrain.
It would be wrong of us to make an ineffective offering to him.
Insulting.
Yes, far be it from insulting. Hey, just one thing, just to give you something else to think about. That chatty halfling mentioned something about spell jamming, about vessels that travel across the stars.
Yes.
You do know that the might of the Godbrain, all hail the Godbrain, does also contain a number of such vessels for traversing to far-flung distances.
Well, should we make it there? I suppose we'll find out.
When Tregram says this to you, for a split second, you remember something you saw in that whirlwind of images when you were recalling your time in Bloodspur. And there was an odd silvery something that looked like perhaps it was a ship, but it didn't make any sense. It was shaped almost more like an elongated wagon or some such made out of metal that was half buried in the sand. And when that image comes back, he says, you wouldn't know it to look at it, but that thing has traveled far and wide before coming to rest in our humble abode.
One day we'll talk about what that is.
It's not important now. I was just trying to give you something else to occupy your mind.
Was that from the dream that we...
Yeah, it was a dream. Yeah, dream. Perhaps it was some sort of shared hallucination, even. That wasn't...
You're a bad liar, Tregram. I urge you to learn to be better at it.
I have no secrets from you, my lady.
Valentine will just walk back towards the group.
What would you all like to do now?
I do a deck pull.
I was about to say, I see the cards. Yep. All right.
Seeing as how they've been pulling me in this direction, and we have just learned about this BB that I have some questions about. So my first question will be if this BB will be particularly hostile towards me.
Go ahead and roll it.
Right. Let's see. Tell me when to stop. Anyone?
Oh, what? Sorry.
Tell me when to stop.
Oh, I can't interfere.
Stop. Thief. Your face.
Again.
Those who steal or burgle a loss of property, beauty, innocence, friendship, or reputation.
Children?
You recall something that Granny said to you. That the Sisters of the Witchlight Coven hate everyone. They even hate each other. They just hate each other less than they hate everyone else.
Right.
Relatable.
Yeah.
It's true. I don't hate you. I don't hate you too.
All right. So I'm going to do a 3-card pull. My second question would be, what specific challenges lie ahead in finding Zybilna? If anybody wants to tell me when to stop.
A little firefly says, "Stop."
They just form stop. The word just appears there.
Yeah, they form the word.
Like an X and the word stop appears. Yeah.
I am saying this out loud, though, also for the benefit of the group, so they would know this time. I'm getting a little more comfortable with everyone. So the second pull was the Raven.
A hidden source of information, a fortunate turn of events, a secret potential for good. You get the distinct impression that, at the risk of mixing metaphors, a certain ruby slippers that could have taken you home all along. There's something you already have, or at least that you've already got access to.
That's very promising. All right. That's one good thing, at least. My last question will be, can I bargain with this BB? If anybody wants to tell me when to stop. Or the
Valentine
fireflies.
just looks back and goes, "Stop."
Priest.
Enlightenment, those who follow a deity or a system of values or a higher purpose. Absolutely. But you may or may not be able to give her what she wants.
Well, it seems like there's a code, so to speak, of conduct in some sense of the word. So possibly.
Oh, yes, my dear. There's a code of conduct. And you all see a swirling conglomeration of that fog that you see off in the distance dissipates. And you all see a withered old woman that most of you laid eyes on once at the carnival, what feels like lifetimes ago. Nahara, you've seen her much more recently, leaning heavily on a walking stick. You've all made it this far. Good.
Who are you? You're in a stall next to car door. That handsome stud.
He still pines for you, Tatiana. He has not found your like before or since. And
Yes, I know.
She does come forward and holds her hands out for a hug, Nahara.
And I do give her a hug.
I apologize that our last moments together were abbreviated by that nonsense with the Nightmare King. Yes, Uriah, it is I, Granny.
But I do whisper in her ears when she comes in for the hug. I have a very important question to ask you about the carnival.
She just sort of nods. And when you get a whiff of her gray hair, she does smell just like very earthy, almost like compost. And she's like, And you hear in your mind, Nahara, she just looks at you. Are we speaking aloud to our friends or speaking privately, just us girls?
Well, you know that if there's anything you can't say in front of everybody else, and I do say this like with message, you can always tell me.
Yeah, absolutely. You all hear she does say out loud for all of you, there are certain rules of conduct in Prismir that you would do well to abide. Although Zybilna herself is not currently enforcing them, you still never know what the Witchlight Coven will do should you be found in violation.
It's all right. I love following rules.
Blessings of the Lady of the Mist upon you, Brother Uriah. Blessings of the Lady of the Mist. There is the rule of hospitality. If a friend, an enemy, or a stranger enters your home, you are expected to be gracious and accommodating to them until such time as they prove by their words or actions undeserving of such hospitality.
Wait, undeserving seems very subjective, open to interpretation. You mean they fight or you just decide?
I think you will find a number of things in these places open to interpretation. There is the rule of ownership. You must not steal from a friend, an enemy, or a stranger. To take something that doesn't belong to you without the rightful owner's permission is a crime and an unforgivable breach of etiquette.
Tatiana looks at the wrist where the watch had once been.
And last, but certainly not least, the rule of reciprocity. When a friend, an enemy, or a stranger offers you a gift, you are obliged to accept it and offer something of comparable value. Be it a gift, a service, something in return. Such reciprocation need not be immediate. But you must be mindful, and she just reaches in her robe and she pulls out an apple and she hands it to you, Desmond.
Is it a
How rude.
When you take it, she's like, Sorry. You weren't paying attention, boy. Now you owe me. And she does like tap you with the staff.
Can't he just give you one apple in return?
Well, that wouldn't really be much of a system, would it?
Dang.
She does look at you, and she like looks you up and down, and she says, I've never taken a trip when a winged beast like you before. Perhaps you could give me a little flight at some time, and we will call it even.
He's the Witchlight Monarch.
Oh, your majesty.
The Witchlight Monarch must be a really big deal.
Ew, it is. Everyone loves the Witchlight Carnival, and the Witchlight Monarch is the greatest representation of it. But don't change the subject.
I'm not changing the subject. I just would like to take your hand in appreciation for the gift that you've given me.
Her hand is withered and leathery, but it is also almost like titanium. Like, she doesn't hurt you, but you realize, like, she's incredibly strong.
You are very powerful. So about that ride. And then right when he says that, he just kind of like reaches his arm around her and says, let's go. Just
I'll return
whooshes her
with
into the
more
air.
vital exposition as they fly away.
Whoops.
He's been playing around with these wings. He's confident in his capabilities. He learned a little bit about how to flex them while he was playing around earlier, and nothing looked like anything to him. So he just like takes her in a quick like couple circles and a couple like figure eights, and then just brings her back down and gently places her on the ground.
I've not experienced such a thing since I was a girl. Oh, thank you.
Desmond, what kind of ride would you give her?
Now, I have to offer more than an apple for some of that stuff. However, and she does bonk you on the head with her stick, Desmond. Pop! She's like, you didn't learn the lesson. When I gave you the apple, we were locked in reciprocity. Do you understand?
Yes. So accept nothing.
You must
unless you're
accept.
preparing to give something in return.
Because that's where it gets tricky. You are quite right, Tatiana. Your wisdom exceeds your prodigious strength. It is always...
No, absolutely not. Why would you insult me so?
It can be risky to offend someone by declining their gift, and yet by accepting it, you are bound by the rules. Do you understand?
Yes. So if we found ourselves in that situation, if, for example, you handed me an apple and I were to reach into my pouch and hand you a kipper in return, would that satisfy the rules?
I personally have no head for kippers, but to some, perhaps. But, if you
What
want...
about a flavorful beverage? And he just hands her his flask.
She acts like she's gonna take it, and she goes, I see.
I understand the rules of the land, but I want nothing in return for this. I would just like to see if you enjoy the rum from my homeland.
Perhaps
I've taken you for a ride. I feel like we are completely even. I want nothing but to see whether or not you enjoy it.
And it is because we are even that I unfortunately must decline.
Shame. And then he just like uncaps it and just has a sip.
Yes, so declining politely is an option?
Apparently, I have not offended the monarch of the Witchlight Carnival.
Ah, I see.
No?
I see. But if he did take offense, then we'd be on the wrong side of the rules.
Indeed.
Another rule that's extremely subjective.
As all things here are, she says, looking down at all the dead flowers around your feet. And she looks at you, Valentine, and she says, you know, my sisters and I are not without power and access. We can be useful allies, as I'm sure Nahara can tell you, and good friends as well. I think someone like you could use friends like us, Valentine.
Tell me, what about it? What about me makes you want to be my friend?
She just looks down at the dead flowers around you and then looks up again, and she says, you are powerful, and yet you wish to be free. You wish to be your own person and be free from the shackles that have been placed on your soul, shackles you did not ask for. We can deliver such liberation to you.
What you're saying is you offer friendship in light of my suffering.
Well, when you say it like that, it sounds predatory and self-serving, but yes.
Doesn't it?
We know things. And as she says this, you see out of the ambient mist and fog that is just kind of hanging around all of you, you start to get hints and glimmers of faces, of people moving, of just presences that Nahara, you've become increasingly more familiar with of late. She's like, there is so much more to existence, so much more to everything you see. You, Valentine, have already transcended the veil and come back again. I shudder to think what power you'd be capable of.
You should.
There's a quirky thing here that I shared with my dear Nahara when we spoke before. My sisters and I, we don't have many friends. We tend to be rather disagreeable. In fact, we don't even like each other. We just like each other more than most everyone else. You all are here in my sister Bavlorna's domain. This Hither was the part of Prismir that was carved off for her. I have no head for swamps, really, but she seems happy with it. Tell me, how can I be of assistance? And she turns and looks right at you, Nahara. I heard your call. You reached out to me. What can Granny do for you?
We're looking for someone.
Hmm?
We're looking for Zybilna.
Yes?
And we were instructed to go to see this person you just mentioned, knowing that she shouldn't speak their name.
My beloved sister, who shall remain nameless. I will tell you.
We are calling her BB.
We are calling her Bibi.
BB. Allow me to reveal BB to you. And she stamps her staff, and out of mist, a form collates into a horrible-looking, hunched-back woman with thick, bulging eyes that is sitting on a lily pad that floats and is carrying a staff. And she's got long, pointed teeth. She's like, my sister BB. And then she taps it again. In the mist forms what looks like, at first you think is like a large ball gown that is forming. But then it starts to look like it's actually a stage and someone is playing marionettes. And you see a woman with 4 arms in a veil that is covering her gaunt, sickly face that is playing with the puppets. My sister Indolin Moongrave. And she taps the staff again. And you see what looks like a hobby horse and an old woman roughly the size of a child, wearing an old tattered gown and carrying a scepter as she's riding on this hobby horse. My sister Skabatha Nightshade. Hither, thither, and yon.
Neither of those are BB.
BB was the first
She was
one.
the first one.
Oh,
With the buggy eyes and the sharp teeth.
It's a swamp motif, darling. You see you see all of this and see her. It begins to make more sense in context, right?
Yes, I wonder what the domain of the one riding the hobby horse is like.
I hope to
My
be there to see your face when you experience it.
Oh,
Well, speaking of that,
Go on, yes.
will they be more or less pleased if, upon meeting them, we told them that you had sent us? Or is the mention of your name not a good idea?
Well,
Or would that help us?
You brave adventurers have come to restore Zybilna to her rightful place, right? My sisters went to great lengths and expended tremendous power to trap and ensnare Zybilna and divide her land up equally between the 3 of them. It would be a terrible, petty thing if someone who did not get a portion of Prismir were to be instrumental in the undoing of their plans.
And now I see. That's fair.
So maybe
Get it.
don't.
We could help.
Yes.
I have one other question, Grady. You say that you hate everyone and you hate your sisters less. Do you hate us?
I hate you less than most, and I hate you, Nahara, least of all.
Thank you, Granny.
Very
I
nice.
have one last question. What can you tell us about the missing children in the carnival?
You will locate your missing youth in my sister's domain of Thither. They are not here, but they are there. When Zybilna ran things, any harm to children was strictly prohibited. I have to believe that is still true, or at least it was. I have not been to Thither in some time.
I'd like to just pull Tatiana aside, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still floating a little bit, so you can easily pull me with little resistance.
Just out of earshot of Granny.
Mm-hmm.
Something is not right here at all. This is where Mother is from, and this isn't how she described it at all.
You don't think it is possibly just your emotions are in a place where here they make you think everything is wrong?
I think that this place is so whimsical in the way that it moves. It's full of life, and that's not how my mother was. She wasn't whimsical or full of life like this place. How long did it take? How much did my father and the business take from her to change her from this to that? I can't believe that this place would have been like that when she was young.
I believe you. Perhaps Zybilna being gone is part of the reason for the change.
Maybe it's better. I don't know.
And while you two are having this quiet moment, Desmond, you find yourself just sort of idly looking over to that huge wall of fog, and a familiar sensation starts to come over you. Desmond, your time in the Feywild has been complicated at best. The line between friend and foe, victim and aggressor, is blurry at best. And every time you make a choice, you can never be completely sure that you made the right one. The nature of this place is trickery. The nature of this place is misdirection. And all of that serves to constantly obfuscate the right target to loose your arrow towards. And as you lay your head down, heavy, with the implications of recent events and what that means for the future and what you should do next, you are greeted by a familiar voice that is accompanied by a very unfamiliar face.
Desmond, greetings to thee.
Oh, if it isn't our brother Uriah wannabe.
I assure you, I have no desire to be Uriah.
You laugh, but you show up. as Brother Uriah. You may change his voice. You may change his mannerisms. Show up as him. So to me, you very much want to be in his shoes.
Do you think perhaps I miss the feel of a breeze upon my cheek, the grass beneath my feet? No, Desmond. I entered this state most willingly in the pursuit of arcane knowledge. But you have greatly amused me this day. Nevertheless, I came to speak to you.
Me? You want to speak to me?
Indeed.
Why?
And why not? Among all your comrades, you have noble blood, and moreover, whether you know it or not, have the makings of a leader of men, a ruler. I recognize these qualities.
I was born to be a leader of men. That was something you didn't need to watch us to figure out. I decided to not be a leader of men. I decided to leave it to my brother because I would rather go out and enjoy the night, as it were.
Yes.
And you tell me that I have the makings to be a leader of men. You speak platitudes. The crown is what it feels like right now.
I speak as a king, recognizing greatness in another. Whether you choose to rule or not is your own concern. But no matter. I think you might have been a far better ruler than your brother, but if this is not your choice, do not think that I seek to bind you to a throne. Rather, I wish to speak about the nature you have embraced. Yes.
I'm listening.
I have told you of my admiration for your appreciation of your lycanthropic nature. So many in the place I dwell thought it a curse. I could see it was a gift, and rewarded greatly those lycanthropes who entered the Kargat. They knew their power, as do you.
Seems like more platitudes again. So what is it you really want of me? You speak of my power. You speak of my capability as if I'm unaware of what I am, as if I was not prepared to take the crown if I so chose. So what would you like of me?
You have no patience for honeyed words. How
No.
very refreshing. Desmond, I do know what you desire above all. Koshmar's return and restoration, of course, but mostly for Veronica to draw breath again. I know it must be most troubling to be able to speak to her, to even see her, and yet she remains so far away.
So you've been watching all this time through Brother Uriah's eyes, and this is the first that you've decided to speak to me of my love for Nika.
Please, do not think that I have nothing better to do than to eavesdrop on you and your friends. When I have intervened, it has been to save you all from disaster. I have spared Uriah, yes, but think back to the first time that happened. He was in grave danger, but so were all of you. If I had not saved him, well, there is a chance that all of you might have fallen. I do recall some rather timely healing spells he employed. Perhaps your story would have ended in Falkovnia as a thrall of the body taker plant. I come to you now with an offer of help. I have been studying the problem, and I think I know how Veronica might be fully restored.
Really now?
Indeed.
And what of me would you need for this to happen?
I would need to know that your loyalty, your allegiances do not lie with one of my foes, one of my rivals.
And which rival would this be?
Oh, I have many. Von Zarevich, of course. But there are others. Some agents of chaos who seek to interfere for their own ends. Some who have taken quite an interest in you.
Hearing you say that makes me very curious. Because you speak of Anzarovich. I remember Zavilna caring about our party and yourself. To what end are all of you powerful beings? To what end do you all care about the few of us? And why does our loyalty matter?
I have told you why your group, particularly the outlanders among you, interest me. Von Zarevich, well, his obsessions are rather singular. He's entirely predictable in that way. Zabilna, the Archfey, this I do not know. The Fey, their ways are shrouded, even from me. But there is another, as I say, who has taken a very direct interest in you.
And you don't want to tell me who that is, do you?
Can you not guess?
I have many guesses. But I'm torn. I've experienced many powerful beings that have a lot more feelings for my group of friends than is normal. So you might ask if it's obvious. I don't know if I can trust you enough to tell you.
The one I speak of presents a very fair face to you in particular.
Now that interests me. I have an idea of who it might be. But again, I've experienced a lot of people requesting loyalty, requesting favors, requesting things, many people who've not tried to butter me up with kind words in the meantime. So I'll consider the possibility that maybe the person who I'm thinking of is a problem to you, but I'll also be considering how they could be a benefit for me.
Believe you me, O Desmond Truns, those that deal with the one I speak of rarely find it to be to their benefit.
And here, with the reveal, a suspected friend may be a suspected foe, but still a possible ally, is a good place for us to stop.